What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube verse? I am here today with a fun video. Um, fun is like it's a talky thing, it's a vlog thing, you know. Let me adjust my eye real quick. Sorry, I have a lazy eye kind of thing, and I took my glasses off because the glare. Maybe if I turn the TV off, hold on. Turn the TV off real quick. Put my glasses back on real quick. And yo, no glare. All right, we can talk. I don't like my eyes being covered. If you know me by this point, I am on a firm belief like if you got your eyes covered, if you're not going to be able to let people see your face as it is, you're hiding something. And if you can't show me your eyes when you're inside of a room with dim lighting or just neutral lighting, obviously there's people with eye issues and they need to have their eyes covered in sunlight and stuff. Understandable. Very respectable. But if you're not in the sun, why you got sunglasses on? If you're not doing anything wrong, why you trying to cover your face? So we're starting with that real quick. That was a funny little thing. I was not going to start with that originally. My bad. Nah, but it's So I'm gonna do a thing that I've been thinking about doing for a while, and I thought about a way to do this respectfully. If you see some old videos back when I used to work with PetSmart, the way I present this stuff was not of the utmost kindness and respectability that it should have been. And I said respectability, silly. Respectability is obviously what I'm trying to say. We have fun here. Anywho, so a few fun rules for young and old, because I have seen I have seen young and old do this stuff. And let me excuse me, let me tell you guys some fun things about some rules for any pet store. Not just where I work at, but for any place somebody work at. And to be respectful, because there's a lot of stuff going on out there. And I've seen videos about people who go around purposely finding things wrong with pet stores and the way they keep their fish and stuff when it's hard. It's really hard out there. Pet stores are understaffed. We don't get paid a whole bunch. You do the pet care thing because it's a passion, not because you're looking for money. Why do you think I'm doing YouTube on top of this and stuff? It's because I enjoy it. I love animal stuff. And somewhere out there, I hope to make that a career. Because believe me, I spent the better part of about 3 decades trying to figure out what I truly, truly love. And gosh darn it, I settled on this, so that's my career. And for those who want to do stuff in pet store and those who just visit pet stores and stuff, let me give you a few easy rules, fun little things, not big reminders. Again, we don't do big flashy like message one, message two. We don't want to streamline and stuff. Oh, it's a vlogging thing. No editing, no nothing. So straight up, one of the biggest things I see in pet stores the most is people invading the personal space of someone trying to work. So if someone's got an animal enclosure open and they're moving back and forth, and you see the cute little animal running around and doing what they're doing, please, I know it's hard. I know you see something adorable and you want to move it closer to see it, but do not block the walk passage between the person working with the animal and the animal itself. So many times I turn my back to grab food, refresh the water, do anything. I don't leave the area. I turn my back, I go to do something, and I turn back around, and someone's in my way all of a sudden because they want to get a look at the animal that's now out and about, curious about what I'm doing. And of course, I talk to the animals every time. Everybody I work with knows when I start talking to the animals, they react to me. My videos I do with my animals is the way I talk to animals at work. You can question anybody I know personally. Obviously, in this kind of YouTube channel thing, you can't personally question people about how I be, but if anyone who knows me personally speaks up when I'm ever trialed, they will say, Nick does this. He talks to his fish, he talks to his lizards, he talks to the dang animals outside running around in the nature. I talk to bugs, dudes, and dudettes. I talk to animals and plants too. I'm weird. But I do that because I love them and I care for them. So I'm weird about that and everything. So the animals come out when I'm working with them. I talk to them, I let them know it's okay, and they react by coming out to see me. And they always know when I'm talking to them and when I'm saying certain things and I do a certain tone, they know they're getting some treats. So I go to do that, and it's mostly children, sometimes it's adults, but I know I have a mixed audience of young and old, and to all ages. Please let those working on the animals work with the animals. You're not going to jump in the way of a zookeeper trying to tend to a lion. If you do, you're not very smart. And there's so many stories about why you shouldn't do that kind of thing. So, in that same mindset, it's not that extreme, obviously. A hamster's not going to jump out of the cage and try and bite you in the throat to the point where you bleed all over the place, kind of a deal, you know? You're not going to get mauled by a hamster the way you would get mauled by a lion. But in the same idea, their enclosures are open, they're vulnerable. Please let the worker work. Another big thing is do not put your hands in them enclosures. Do not dip your hands in the aquatic tanks. This is not because of anything that was just like, oh, don't do it because we don't want you to touch them and blah, blah, blah. Zoonotics is a thing. There are microorganisms on your fingers. Did you wash your hands? Where have you been last? What animals do you have? Do you know that if you have a bunny rabbit and you don't wash your hands right and you go touching a guinea pig, you can give that guinea pig a respiratory disease? There is so much about animals that is so important that you cannot just go messing with them willy-nilly. You have to know things. In pet stores, they make you do at least 5 hours. In the 2 different types of pet stores I've worked at, 5 hours minimum to start on animal knowledge. And then after that, you have to take refresher tests. And some of these things take an hour or two. So you got to learn how to care about the animal. You got to learn how important it is that health, zoonotics, the transfer of microorganisms it's not about you getting bit. If you're like, oh, I don't care about getting bit, it's not about that. It's about making the animal sick, about making you sick. It's about introducing a new disease we don't understand. It can happen. The chances are small, but they're more likely if you just go doing things willy-nilly and not knowing how to handle the creature. So, 2 big things. The last thing and the third thing, when going into a pet store, that is just basic respect for any pet store. Be respectful to the workers. All of us start somewhere on the ladder of animal understanding and caring. Some of these young folks love animals, want to learn more, but they can't tell a mystery snail from an apple snail. And when I say that, it sounds like, oh, it's not that easy. I mean, to tell the difference between a male and female ghost shrimp or the male and female betta shrimp, I can tell that from a glance. I didn't do that in a day. I'm 37. It took over 3 decades of learning, studying, carefulness, patience, to just glance at multiple species of creature and say, oh, that's a male, that's a female. It's easy for me. Live bearers, like mollies, platies, guppies, like that, I can tell you. Crustaceans and stuff, if you put a male and female next to one another, yeah, it's the larger, wider one's the female. So, and I got there in time. Now, I am an experienced pet caretaker. But if someone's new on the job, they're doing their best, and you're someone who knows better than them, and you go trashing them about how you know better than them, that doesn't make you a respectful person in the community of pet care. Pet care is not exclusive, it's inclusive. Anyone who truly cares about an animal does not want to withhold any information. In fact, people just blech information out to such a degree that there's wrong information out there. And you got to be very, very careful what you hear to what is truth. And some of that is your own knowledge and stuff, but if you do know more, then the caretaker, the person in charge of the animal care section at the time, be respectful to them. Be patient with them. And if they're truly, truly someone you just can't deal with, don't say nothing. Don't be rude. Just walk away. Because if you just be nasty and negative, animal care is not going to get more positive. People think it's some exclusive club, like only this person who does XYZ is allowed to care for animals. When really the truth is, love the creature, don't do it harm. That's it. That's all you need to do to be a good animal caretaker, to love animals. Love it and don't want to do it harm. With those two things, you will want to give it the best nutrition it can have. You want to give it the best care it can have. You'd want to give that animal the world. You know? And at some point, that young person at that pet store has that drive in their heart. They have that passion. Please do not destroy that. Please do not make this amazing community one of the few communities that gives information willingly. We want people who know about animals and nature, want all the rest of you to absolutely understand what we understand. How beautiful this world is. This mud ball we live on is so stinking special. And if you go into some pet store and destroy the confidence of some teenager just starting their job for the first time, you just took someone out of the community who one day, 20 to 30 years from now, could have been a pivotal point of someone that learned something about some species that we, as a human race, could never learn. Check it. You gotta check it, because creatures are coming and going all the time. There are species of things that we only know fossils of, because we might have killed them in our lifetime, just doing what we be doing as humans. We don't need to. We really don't. And I'm not going to go accusing and putting down any government or specific peoples or anything, any governments or anything. No nationalities are getting put down. You can go through history. We've all messed up when it comes to nature. We've all made boo-boos. But we got to learn from that. And this is why this community is open. So be kind, be caring, be considerate. And that sometimes does start with that Petco or PetSmart employee that acts like, not act like, but they know nothing. But they want to. So rather than putting them down, trying to make these crazy videos of shock value, like, oh, look at this employee, look what I'm doing to this. What's the fish without teeth? And this, come on, please grow up, people. This community doesn't need that. And with that, that's the third and final thing. Be respectful to all of every age, including the animals in between. And another thing, stop asking funny, weird questions for shock value. Honestly, in the long run, I think we're starting to see how all these people who do all these nasty things online and what they do to people, they're in jail, they're going through trials. It's not fun. 15 minutes of fame is not worth it. Be respectful. Love animals. Love yourself. Be good to one another. And I don't know how that one part about talking about how to be good with pet stores wound up being that right there. But it's been on my heart lately. And that's why I haven't done one of these videos lately, because I wanted to try to present this kind of thing in a way that is respectful and kind. So if you stuck with me past these 15 minutes, you are amazing. Thank you so much. With that, y'all be absolutely good. I have the best community ever. Y'all be good. I said that twice. Y'all be awesome. Peace out.